Moses' story. Part 4. Moses goes to Pharaoh. Exodus 4 verse 29 to 31. When Moses and Aaron arrived in Egypt, they gathered together the leaders of the Hebrews to tell them the news that God was going to deliver them and lead them to the promised land. The leaders and the people bowed down to worship God. Exodus 5 verses 1 to 22. Then Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh. The God of Israel says, "Let my people go so they can worship me in the wilderness." "Who is the Lord that I should obey him?" replied Pharaoh. "I do not know the Lord, and I will not let his people go. If you don't obey God, he may bring plagues," warned Moses and Aaron. The same day, Pharaoh gave orders to the slave drivers to make the Hebrews work harder. They were no longer given straw to make bricks, but had to collect their own straw while still making as many bricks as before. The slaves became exhausted searching for straw and making bricks. When they could not make their quota, the slave drivers beat them. The Hebrew leaders complained to Moses and Aaron, "May God judge you. You have made Pharaoh hate us and our lives are in danger." Moses spoke to God. "Why have you brought trouble on these people? I spoke to Pharaoh in your name, but you have not rescued them." Exodus 6 verses 1 to 12. God replied, "My mighty hand will drive the people out of Egypt. I keep my promises. I will take you as my people and I will be your God." Moses reported this to the Hebrew leaders, but they were too discouraged by their bad treatment to listen to him. God told Moses and Aaron to visit Pharaoh again. "If the Hebrews won't listen to me, why should Pharaoh?" replied Moses. "Especially as I can't speak very well." Exodus 7 verses 1 to 6. God told Moses that Aaron would be spokesman. He warned that Pharaoh would not listen to them, but God would bring plagues on the Egyptians until they let his people go. Moses and Aaron left for the palace. Pharaoh demanded that Moses and Aaron show him a miracle. Aaron threw his staff down and it became a snake. Pharaoh summoned his wise men and sorcerers. They threw down their staffs and their staffs also became snakes. But Aaron's snake swallowed up their snakes. Despite seeing the great power of God, Pharaoh refused